In 1967, the student body president at the University of California at Berkeley was a guy named Charlie Powell, sharp young man. And there was incredible unrest at Berkeley. Those were the days of unrest. The Vietnam War was at its peak. The Berkeley campus was known for resisting anything that was organizational, it was anti-establishment, and there were cars being burned and rolled over and riots and all of that. And Charlie was the student body president, and he had to do something about that, and he didn't know what to do. And our campus director at the University of California, Berkeley, thought about him and thought, what would he need that I could offer? And so he walked into his office, introduced himself and said, I'm the director of Campus Crusade on this campus. You may not know who we are, but we care about people like you. We've always been involved with leaders. We've always wanted to encourage people in their life, their whole life. And so I just have been thinking about you, and I'd like to pray for you, which apparently he did. And he struck up a relationship with Charlie in a time of need. He introduced Charlie to Christ. They began to pray for the campus and what could be done, and the product of those prayers was the Berkeley Blitz, where some 600 Crusade people, most of us students, some staff, showed up on the campus for a week. And here we are in this place where it's all fallen apart. And then we just dispersed, went all over the campus and told our stories in fraternities and sororities and dormitories and coffee houses and classrooms, wherever we could. And we had a couple of major events right on the mall there. There's a place called Sproul Hall, which is right there across from the Student Union, and some big steps going up in there. And people were out there rioting, people were up there. The Communist Party was very strong on that campus, and they had their people out there with loudspeakers and all of that. And we got permission to be there, and this little group I was in called the New Folk would sing, and our national director, a guy named John Braun, would stand up and talk about Christ and how much he cares for them and changes lives when they give their lives to him.
We're revolutionaries. We plan to see something happen to the world in which we live. We don't like the way it is now, and we think it ought to change, and it will change.
I'll never forget one particular day. It was a day when Dr. Billy Graham was to speak in the Greek Theater, which is an outdoor theater. We got up, we went out, we sort of what we called search and hustle, went around the campus and grabbed everybody we could and said, it's all happening at the Greek Theater. I just remember Dr. Graham standing up and giving the good news to these several hundred, probably 1,500 or more students. And I thought, I've never been part of something like this before. This is just huge. And in summary of that, by the way, there was a professor on that campus, a Christian professor, who some weeks later said, I think it even could have been in the paper, but he said, what happened in this 1 week with Christians on this campus broke the back of the leftist movement that was upsetting this campus. And in a sense, it started with the student body president who said, okay, let's pray about this and see what God would do.
Tell the world